All right, clap on three. 1, 2, 3. You know, it's funny because, like, our claps weren't even in sync and we're right next to each other. I saw you clap and I was like a half a second late.
But as far as Audacity is concerned, like, we're pretty good.
Audacity doesn't need to know. But we're not talking to Audacity. We're talking to our millions of adoring fans here at the Frying Pan Podcast, a pop culture podcast brought to you by me. My name is Dan, and my good buddy, handsome, devilishly attractive, guy with a wonderful way of words,
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. I'm here with my co-star, Channing Tatum. Now, you may know us from 21 Jump Street.
Oh, yeah. Do you think in our relationship you would be the Jonah Hill and I'd be Channing Tatum? Like, who do you think? Because I feel like I could be Jonah.
I feel like you'd be a better Channing Tatum. I feel like you're more outgoing than I am.
All right, I vibe with it. You get a pretty cute girl in the second one.
Do I? Never watched the second one. Bless you. I don't even know if I finished the first one.
Honestly, I think the movies are pretty funny. I can't lie.
Yeah. Oh, they came out like our freshman year of high school, like middle school. But I mean, it was a long time ago, so I don't even remember it.
Oh gosh, I couldn't even tell you.
But regardless,
I do know though, like before we round off our conversation on 21 Jump Street, I thought the funniest thing about that, like the series, was just how well they like capitalized on their dynamic of looks.
Yeah.
Because even though it wasn't like the best movie, I still thought the jokes were pretty good, like pretty well placed.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad movie. I don't think I can remember anything from it. I remember the "My name is Jeff" thing.
That's where that meme came from.
I know.
You know what's great? I didn't really make that connection for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
You were just like, oh, okay.
I kind of thought they were just doing the meme when I saw the movie.
Oh, like the meme came from something else and they were just like...
Yeah. Kind of like how in Black Panther they did like the "what are those" joke, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's true. They did do that.
So like I just thought movies to be topical just kind of memed now.
They do. I feel like they do that a lot in movies nowadays. Where they just kind of like take like a popular vine from 6 years ago and they slap it in. And it's like the director's like sitting in his chair and he's like, oh, dude, the kids are going to fucking love that one.
I mean, like, what else can they do to try and be like relatively topical, right?
Yeah.
It definitely dates the movie, though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. If, like, I go watch Black Panther in like 10 years and I see a "what are those" joke, it'll like trigger like a Vietnam flashback of middle school.
What are those?
But regardless, welcome back another day. How you doing today? You came in a little overwhelmed. We're in person today.
No, we're not. What?
Me and Bobby have a 6-foot pole between us.
As well as our both wearing masks.
Yes, I'm naked beside the mask. Bobby went for one giant mask that goes from his nose to his feet.
So like a hazmat suit.
Yeah. But no, it's just like in the front. Back's open, in the front is just nose to toes.
I'm keeping the socks on.
Okay,
I'm keeping the socks on.
Respect that. But how are you? Are you okay now?
I mean, I've definitely relaxed now that I'm here. Got some water. I'm with my boy Dan, sitting down to record an episode. But God, man, work was stressful today.
Yeah.
Work was stressful because I had to make a lot of phone calls to people about something that they submitted online. Like, okay, so like, it's not like I'm cold calling people. Like, they literally submitted to us, which means they showed interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you'd think if I called them to follow up on their submission to try and get them in an appointment, they'd be like, you know, oh yeah, like definitely not. Why are you calling me? Who are you? Like I was so confused today. It was just an extreme amount of people that just really had no clue what I was talking about. And I'm sitting there like, dude, you literally filled out the form, man.
I mean, like, I don't know exactly what you do, but you're not like a telemarketer, are you?
No!
Okay.
No, like, literally, like, they fill out a form because, like, they need something like windows or siding or whatever the fuck, and they want us to do it because I guess we have, like, a pretty good service or something or whatever. But the point is like, I don't know what to do with people that are, like, so, like confused of why I'm calling them.
Mm-hmm.
Because like logically, I want to be like, dude, like you essentially called us without actually calling. Like this phone call is only happening because you showed the interest.
Yeah.
So like when someone's like, oh, I don't know about that, I'm like, I don't want to be like mad about it, but I'm mad about it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, like, I understand when people like get annoyed with phone calls, but when it's something like you show interest in, you get mad when the person you showed interest to responds. Kind of weird.
Exactly. Like it's one thing I would understand if I called people. I understand that.
Yeah.
But like literally I can see the date, the time, I have their address on file because they filled out the form.
Well, do you want to let people know their address?
Oh my, actually yeah. Alright, I'm gonna dox these guys.
Yeah.
And I can tell you the times they're not gonna be home as well.
Well,
that way we can rob them.
legally we don't mean this, and we literally don't mean it, but
At the same time,
I mean,
I'm gonna say this guy's first name. Harold. Fuck you.
I mean, to be fair, like a dude named Harold,
Well-
he's gonna give you shit if you give him a phone call. That's a dude that's like, email me or don't interact with me.
Well, he let me get through my whole spiel before he told me to fuck off, which is what ticked me off.
Yeah, like why are you wasting my time, dog?
Exactly, man. Don't keep me on the phone for 5 minutes if you are gonna hit me with I have no clue what you're talking about the whole time.
I mean, like if you were a telemarketer, I would probably do that. I mean, there's like
I mean, I understand, but like,
that's not.
I call them and I'm like, hey, you're looking for this, right?
They're like, no,
Oh my god.
I don't know what the fuck I'm here for. Well,
And then like that, but that's just work stuff. And then life stuff has been interesting this past week for me.
mm-hmm.
Been in a little bit of a rut, just cause felt the weight of the semester starting online. And let me tell you, I already dropped one of my classes. I replaced one in its place, or I put one in its place. But man, I was just not ready for that workload.
Yeah, I mean it's fair. I mean you replaced it, right?
Yeah.
So I mean I guess it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. I don't know what I'm gonna do if next semester we're not going back to actual classes. Like, I don't know how well I'm gonna do in school if it keeps staying online.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you heard, like, our friends go to one of the state universities, UConn, and apparently they haven't really adjusted their workloads that well at all. Like, most people that I've seen talking about UConn on, like, Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat are just, like, suicidal because of the workload that professors give them.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of like they have to do a lot of online group work,
Yeah.
and for a lot of people that doesn't work.
That's
Like,
why I dropped out my class.
that's why I dropped out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely like something. I don't want to say like adapt or like fail, but I mean it's kind of how it is. Like it's a shitty situation they're going to be thrown into regardless, but it's really either you adapt to it, and you like it's going to be shitty for most people regardless. But
Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of like, because also for like the times that I actually need to learn something, right?
mm-hmm.
There's nothing stopping me from cheating because at the end of the day, I want my transcripts to look the best they can.
Mhm.
And like if I can, use my notes cuz I'm at home, I'm going to use my notes at home no matter the quiz or the test.
I mean, like there's literally no way you stop cheating this year. Like it just kind of is what it is.
So
sadly,
that means every professor like makes just everything like an essay that's ambiguous and everything like that. And it's just smothering with the workload because, well, I like essays. They're my go-to. But like, man, having to write them for every single class, including math, just does not feel great.
yeah, I understand that. It definitely makes sense.
But
I mean,
I digress.
couldn't be me.
Just
Just don't go to school.
Just
not
don't.
in debt.
that's a hard sell there. That's a really hard sell.
Yeah, but it's the whole thing of, hey, go to school. You probably got guaranteed a job, a little 100,000 in debt, or it's like, hey, don't go to school. You're
Wow.
kind of fucked if you want to get a real job.
Hey man, don't worry about it. I'll get the big bucks with my degree, and then I'll be like, hey Dan, you want a job? so then I don't have to work.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. My friend's like, oh, I think I'm going to start a business within the next year. And I'm like, well, when it pops off, you know where I am. Please, just give me a free ride. I'm tired of having to work for everything in life. It's just so tiring. It's so exhausting.
I feel that.
Where are my freebies, man?
There's something in the stock market that happened today for a company called, I think, like Whitening or something like that. It's like Whitening Petroleum.
Okay.
And their stocks went from like 50 cents a stock to a lot of stock.
Oh yeah.
And someone that I know from high school had like $100 in that stock.
Oh really?
And it turned into 83,000.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's I guess Apple and Tesla stocks. There's something that happened to them. It's like they split, and now I don't think they're like half the value, but they've dropped like a fuck ton. So
that's kind of what Tesla does. I'm sure everyone's now just buying Tesla stock, expecting it to go back up, but because of that, it's probably not going to really go back up for a minute.
I mean, that's what I always hear in terms of stocks of just like, I don't know, like everyone just buys from Tesla, but then people that are like professionals are like, literally buying Tesla stocks are so useless and have no value, and then they have like 300,000 in Tesla, and I'm like, I don't understand it. I'm not that like too versed in stocks, so.
Yeah, honestly, the only thing I understand about them is that I don't want to say it's based off of luck, but there's a lot of like variables that determine your payout, right? Because like, you could have like a stock portfolio that totals like $200,000 one day, and then I don't know, maybe all yours is in Tesla stock and it got halved, so now you're sitting there with just only 50,000.
Yeah.
I guess the only thing that matters is as long as you stay above what you put in, right? That's how people make money off of stocks.
Makes sense to me. I always just mentally view it as the same thing as like gambling. When I know it's not, but like I always just view them as the same concept, kinda.
I can agree with that because there's so much ambiguity in it for me.
Yeah.
When it comes to trading stocks and all that, like I don't know how people like foresee the future and they're like, yes, this will be my investment.
That's what I'm saying. Like I literally, like a bunch of friends were getting into stocks, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just take 50 and just put it into something. And no thought or anything into what I was going into. I was just like, oh, I know that. There it is.
I feel that.
I don't know, man. Well, this isn't our realm.
Stocks may be in our future though. Who knows? Maybe we'll like have a understanding, or I'll be like, hey Dan, let's take a class together on managing stocks.
I mean, I would like someday in the future, but right now it's just
I'm also betting on one of our friends getting good enough just to educate us.
I'm just waiting for one of my friends to make a fuck ton of money so I can just live in their basement.
I mean, aren't we all?
Really?
Dan and I are fighting for the person's basement.
Yeah. Hey, who's sleeping on top of the bed? Who's sleeping under the bed?
Well, our friend Tyler is going to school to be a surgeon, so like I'm just banking on him never being home. So like, maybe I can just live there. Maybe. I mean, I'm assuming he'll have a relationship, but like at the same time, Tyler will be like, I don't even know he was in the basement.
No, really. Oh,
God.
Speaking of making a fuck ton of money, people on OnlyFans.
People, Dan, have you started your OnlyFans yet?
Dude, honestly, like I need to find a niche market. Well, for people that don't know, OnlyFans is kind of like, I don't know how I describe it. It's like, because it's not just for like sex workers. Like a lot of people use it for like selling like videos and pictures of their body and shit like that, which is technically sex work. Well, it is sex work, but like I know it's not just that.
It's kind of, it's in a way, how like with if people know what Patreon is, it's just another way of making it so their fan base can give money directly to the creator. And it just so happens that if it's on OnlyFans, it happens to be pictures of like their body or them doing like sexually related things or something like that.
It's like at the end of the day, you're paying for content, so it's the same shit as like anything. But big news out of it, Bella Thorne, you may know her from Disney Channel Shake It Up. Or whatever the fuck she does. She kind of like...
She directed porn.
She did do that, and then she appears in like every just like middle of the pack Netflix movie.
Does she?
Yeah, like I'll always like I'll just watch like random Netflix videos sometimes. And it's just like Bella Thorne is like the quirky, loud person, and it's like, sure, I mean, like you fit it. But she hopped on OnlyFans. She made a fuck ton of money, and ultimately fucked over a lot of people that were using the platform before making a lot of money. So like what happened was, she was selling $200 for a nude picture of her, and you know, people are into that, they buy it, but it wasn't actually a nude picture of her, so people charge back. So sorry, I was like talking and then I just had like so much spit.
Hey,
Probably
Dan's frothing out the mouth right here.
I'm excited to talk about. No, but people charge back, and OnlyFans didn't have the money to compensate for people charging back, so they had to change their policy stating that people could only pay for like direct incentives. It could only be like $50 to $100, which, I mean, like it might not sound like a lot, but it's essentially like you work your weekly job, you get paid weekly, you're making $500, and now, something happened. Now you make $250 a week. And especially for a job that's not like sustainable, like having a normal job,
I mean,
it's just
It kind of just assumes though that like everyone pays for them with the max amount, right?
I guess it depends how like popular you are. Like
I've never even seen OnlyFans, so I don't know if like if it's like Twitch where they like advertise creators on like a front page or what.
Yeah, I mean, I've never used the service, but I do know people that like I follow people on Twitter that have one, and it'll be like, I just made $20,000 in 1 month, and I'm like, okay, how do I get in on this?
But like, I mean, okay. Here's the thing, though. I never understood why. Like it's predominantly males that use the service, I'm gonna guess, because like
buy from.
Yeah, the purchase.
Yeah.
From people on OnlyFans, but like, most guys know about porn. Like they know about the hub. They know about like, if not like Reddit even. Like I'm wondering how specialized their a person's fan base on OnlyFans has to be to get them to keep spending money on something so trivial as like pictures of their body. Like it has to be a decent portion of those people are like the ones that grow attached to the creator and think like they're like in some kind of relationship. If they keep giving them money, they'll like, maybe they'll like me.
Yeah, like which in of itself is terrifying to me. That like people can build that like non-existent relationship with people.
But like what? But that's kind of like, it has to be that way.
Yeah,
though,
no,
right?
It's definitely like a.
Like unless you're just swooning in money and you're just like, fuck it, I can throw money at these females, but like at the same time, like most males know about like free internet porn because it's everywhere.
True. I mean, yeah, I imagine that it's definitely like people are really into this person. I'm sure there's some normal people out there. Well, I don't know if I want to call them like normal people because I feel like it's just kind of like mean, but the thing stands.
Yeah, 'cause what's the appeal to like? I still like, okay, I guess there's like local people, like maybe a really hot girl from high school fell in hot times and now has an OnlyFans, and maybe there's a morbid curiosity where you like want to check it out, like, but that's a one-time purchase thing, right? Like
I think it's monthly.
Even then, so like who I just need to understand the mentality of someone that regularly pays for an OnlyFans. Like what makes that a worthwhile purchase for them? It has to be like the imaginary relationship or whatever, right?
That's what I feel, but I don't know. I mean, like, I guess it's viewed as being like down on your luck, kind of making OnlyFans, but at the same time, like they make so much fucking money from it that like it's kind of hard not to respect it.
So
at least
like
in my eyes,
the OnlyFans demographic definitely isn't like your standard like person our age that I'm taking it, because like who would have that kind of disposable income to just throw away at porn?
I mean, you never know. Like there's a thing for everybody.
I guess true. Like what I spend on weed, someone else could just simply spend on porn.
Yeah, like everyone's got their niche, and then you got like the people that are like I don't know, like sugar daddies.
True.
And they're paying like $700 for a picture and like, yes, my queen,
You
and
know-
shit like that.
Actually, one of my
Oh, one of your friends?
one of my friends, she got contact because you know how Venmo has like transactions set to public.
Yeah.
Well, someone contacted her that she had no clue who she was off of Venmo because she has her like a profile picture that's her for Venmo, asking, he's like, "Hey, I want to be your sugar daddy,"
Dude.
and she was like, "I kind of want to do it."
I mean, like, if I didn't have to interact with this person at all, and they were just wiring me money, and I just had to, like, send a picture of myself, for sure. In a heartbeat.
I mean,
I don't
hey,
give a
there's
shit.
a market out there for everything, right?
I mean, like, I just gotta find it, I guess, you know?
Hell yeah, dude. Like, hit me up if you want pictures of a severely hairy man. I'm your guy.
Hey, if you want a guy that has barely, like, literally no hair on his body, I'm your guy. We're like yin and yang.
Maybe we can make an OnlyFans account together and call it that.
Yin and yang. You know, maybe. But my mom listens to this sometimes, so...
It's okay. It'll be under different names.
I mean, honestly, I don't even think she'd judge me. I'm sure she'd be like, you know what, sweetie, wherever your heart leads you, you follow it. And I'm like, thanks, Mom.
as long as you get that bag, sweetie.
Exactly. Speaking of, losing a bag, this happened a couple weeks ago that we didn't talk about. It was a Cincinnati Reds announcer was on. He said like a homophobic slur on a hot mic, which is like you have the headset on, but you're not live. Like they went to commercial or something, and they cut back to him, and he said, "Kansas City is the number one FAG city in America," and that's fucked. But what I love even more about this is in like the 5th inning, he was doing like an apology, and as he was doing an apology, one of the Reds player hits a home run. So he goes like, "I really do apologize for what I said, and that's a deep fly to left field. That one's gone. It's 4-0 Reds."
I respect. My God.
And it's like,
That's bad.
like that's really fucking bad. Like,
Is this the guy?
yeah,
Oh, he looks like a guy that would say something like that.
yeah, he looks like a guy that would say shit like that. It was fucked, and it was so stupid. But the fact that like he went through with the call killed me. Absolutely murdered me.
Okay, so like, is there any repercussions for this guy?
Oh yeah, he's gone.
He's fired?
Yeah, they fired his ass. People were trying to, like, there was a couple articles I read when I was trying to find the specific one that was like, should they really fire him? Is it worth getting rid of him? And it's like, I don't think I'd want, like, a homophobic person on my broadcast.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, I don't really know how baseball broadcasters work. Is it like, do they have different broadcasters for each stadium?
Yeah,
Or like,
because, like, most, like, teams they have their own network. Like, Yankees have Yes, Red Sox have Ness, and those are only two that are, like, in our area that I know. So they have, like, 2 broadcasters specific for them. And then when it gets to, like, playoffs, they'll go to Fox, and they go with the same people for Fox. Because, like, I don't know, commenters are, like, contracted through different networks and shit.
so this was like the Cincinnati Reds, like their broadcast.
Yeah, this is, like, their main guy.
Do they stay at the stadium? So like, if the Cincinnati Reds went to somewhere else, would he travel with
Yeah,
them?
they travel with the team. Because they have, like, boxes for him.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's about as interesting as you get with baseball, I guess.
I mean, I just kind of never even considered if it was just like the MLB that paid them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure with most sports they follow. I mean, I don't know how it is with COVID. Maybe they are just like in their booth from home or whatever. But regardless,
Not this guy anymore.
yeah, don't be homophobic.
Yeah.
On mic or off. I don't know. I just thought that was stupid. And then another stupid thing I saw today was apparently there was a mobile Pokemon game that didn't pop off called Pokémon Masters.
It didn't pop off?
No, I don't know when it came out, but it didn't pop off. So they revamped it with Pokémon Masters EX. But the hashtag they put out was just Pokemon Master Sex. That's how it reads. And Twitter had a fucking field day with it. Oh my god.
No! I can only imagine all the fan art.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's funny as hell though. But yeah,
you hashtag Pokemon Masters EX.
You'd think this one over before putting that one out with the marketing team.
You
But
have to.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think, right?
Well, could you imagine though, like just stumbling across that trending?
Well,
like, what would you even think?
That's what it was yesterday. I get on Twitter and I'm seeing like hashtag Pokemon Masters EX, and I'm like, did they make like a dating simulator game or like a porn game for it? It's popping off or something, and it's like, no, this is just the official game that they did not do a good job marketing.
Not at all.
Yeah, if you look at some of the memes, they're so good.
Dude, like these are actually. Oh no! All right, yeah, these are.
Yeah, some get bad.
Yeah, some of these are just outrageous. Oh my god!
That's a banger.
All right. Also, it's Keanu Reeves' birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Shout out Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, happy birthday, Keanu Reeves.
You ever want to call on the podcast, man? Like I said, you're more than welcome. You have Bobby's number. I know you guys went to brunch last weekend.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
Yeah.
He rode his motorcycle.
Keanu Reeves is definitely a motorcycle guy.
Oh no, he actually is.
Oh, I know.
He loves riding motorcycles. I think him and his wife do together.
Oh, that's so cute. Do you think you could ever be like a motorcycle person? I know I couldn't. I'd be too scared.
So like, there's a part of me that kind of enjoys that kind of danger. Mm-hmm. But logistically, I have been forbidden from ever purchasing a motorcycle.
Your mom doesn't want you to?
Dad.
Dad doesn't?
Well, Mom said no as well, but Dad really got the say on it, because he was like, I will not... The firmest I've ever heard him, really, he was just, I won't allow that.
Respect.
And I was like, why? And he's like, you never rode the dirt bikes when you were a kid because you were too afraid, and you barely like to ride a bicycle, so...
That's I think that's pretty fair.
He's like, I don't trust you to not die. And I was like, all right, fair. I don't trust me to not die.
I think the issue with like motorcycles is I don't think it's ever really the biker's fault. It's just I think people on the road don't give them any respect.
I mean, that's true, but also like you see a lot of people that are on bikes that kind of use that as an excuse to violate traffic laws and whatnot.
Yeah, no, there's definitely people that are just like dickheads, but
and then like highways on bikes are always going to be fucking intimidating.
Yeah, that could never be me on that one.
Yeah. Honestly, I gotta close this. These are all these...
You're still going?
Yeah, dude. These memes for hashtag Pokemon Masters EX are bad.
Yeah. It's, is what it is, I guess. Just don't do that as your hashtag,
Well, like, that's the thing. Like, what the hell would, like...
Is what it is.
It's just like you said it yourself. Like, how did this get past the marketing team?
Yeah, like you think like you type that one out and you're like, huh, maybe this isn't it.
No, not at all. And I'm so glad that like people on Twitter are just fully popping off with it.
Oh yeah, they're going nuts on it.
Like the memes are actually kind of never ending at the moment. It's not the worst hashtag I think could have been.
No, there's definitely been worse. They've definitely fucked up more. Or a lot of like brands have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's also like back in Twitter's infancy when like slurs would be trending.
That's true, actually. I never think about that.
Yeah, like Twitter wasn't always very moderated, so like.
Yeah, like I remember like a 2014 Twitter just being a cesspool.
Of course it was. Of course it was, because like people were just given a platform that wasn't like Facebook and Instagram to like voice their opinions, and like 2014 was two years after Party Rock Anthem, aka the start of Downhill. So there's a lot of toxicity at the time.
You think that's the downhill?
I think everything after 2000 and like, I mean, I would say the downhill was more like 2016 and after. Yeah. But like I'm gonna say like 2012 to 2016 was a fine set of years. Yeah. But it was Party Rock Anthem that really
did it over.
Yeah, I mean the song said "Don't stop party rocking," and well, unfortunately, America did when Trump got elected, and I think that's why.
We need to go back to our roots.
We need to go back to our roots.
If you elect Robert D'Onofrio as president, 2024. He will bring back party rocking.
Honestly, I don't think I could legally be a president. Don't you have to be like 40 or something like that?
You gotta be like a dinosaur. You gotta be on the verge of dying, which I love. I love that all our presidents are like 90.
I mean, we can start off with local change, right? Vote me in as the mayor.
Okay. I bet you there's an age limit for being a mayor too, actually.
Probably, honestly, but you know, I'll get to the point where where I'll be old enough to be president, and just remember my name, Robert D'Onofrio.
Okay.
And if you see it on the ballot, just make sure that you
You think twice.
well,
Or, no, you just vote.
yeah, you just vote. There is no thinking twice because you'll be so certain that I am the correct candidate.
I wouldn't doubt it. Somebody that I would also vote for president, or you could vote for president, would be Kanye West if you wanted to. But, that was just a little segue, because the next thing is Kanye West, doing his thing.
You know, I heard something that like he might have violated like campaign laws.
Yeah, I don't think you can actually vote for him.
Like,
I hope not.
I mean, people will write in everything, just like how D's Nuts was popping off in like what was it, Idaho for some reason.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure there'll be enough write-ins for him, but like, I'm pretty sure he actually violated campaign laws by like not releasing where his funding comes from.
That makes sense. But we're not talking about him running for president this time.
We could, though.
We can, but we're throwing it back to 2009 when he kind of booted Taylor Swift off the stage. And
what was your reaction to that as like because you were like, what, 10, 11?
I liked Taylor Swift at that time. So I was just kind of like, what the heck? What's he doing?
But like, were you... Because I remember my like older siblings thought it was like the most hilarious thing. Like, I remember everyone was talking about it in school. But honestly, I didn't really understand. Like, I guess I didn't make the connection that he interrupted her like acceptance speech.
Oh yeah, I as a kid, it didn't make sense to me. I just thought it was like a planned thing.
Exactly.
Like, no way this would just happen. Right?
Yeah, because it's on TV, right? Why? Everything's planned on TV, right?
It's live. They all know what they're doing. But
it's live.
Yeah, I guess Kanye did an interview, and apparently God told him to do it. Now,
all right. So what else is God gonna start telling Kanye to do?
Yeah, I mean, I'm under the impression that Kanye needs mental help.
He does, actually,
very severely.
I'm pretty sure like that was already when he was like crying about like saving his daughter's life when he came out on stage, and he's saying that Kim is trying to put him in like a crazy people home. Yeah, remember that?
That was like a month or two ago, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's still on it, but it's like, you don't just like move on from that over a month.
I mean, he's definitely had some kind of break, right?
Yeah, I know he's bipolar, which
would explain the manicness.
Yeah, which has saying it, but
man, because like, so do you think this is his way of like bringing up one of the things that got him very famous?
I don't know. It feels like when he talks about how much like God benefits him, like he could be a very religious person, but like in the terms of the way he does it, just sounds like coping. Like God is the reason why he feels the way he does, and I don't know. I'm just not a religious person, so I guess I can't see it from his or like their point of view.
I mean, I think he's definitely gone off the deep end a little bit, because I remember, like, we didn't even cover it, but when he was traveling around before COVID, going to churches and preaching and stuff, like it was always nonsensical, I guess. Like, there was one time he just rode in on a donkey for some reason.
Really?
Yeah!
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, like, literally, like, this... He's like an evangelicist without, like, actually being one. Like, that kind of blind religious following kind of scares me.
A lot of religious following just kind of scares me, to be honest.
True. What if Kanye was brainwashed? What if he was like grabbed and brainwashed, and that's why this all happened? If
you've seen his house, I would not be surprised. The inside of his house is terrifying. Everything is all white. Hold on. I'm gonna find you a picture.
Alright.
You just buy me some time.
Alright, so, I mean, like, I would kind of go crazy in an all-white house if the lights were too bright. I'd be like, I'm in a hospital the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not that big.
Hold on. I don't... Fuck.
I think he's been like living in Wyoming lately, though.
Yeah, he's been living in Wyoming, but yeah, like
Wow, it's just all white.
the hallways are terrifying. The hallways are straight out of like a horror movie. The living room looks nice. If this is the living room, I think that is very, very, very. I want to say chic, très beau.
Whatever he said, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but like, dude, one thing I hate about like interior designers for famous people is they always just have these weird plastic furnitures that are just kind of there to occupy space. And you're not gonna sit on them; they just look uncomfortable as shit. But they just slap them in.
I mean, right? Like, you're like, what looks cool? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and then they have like a circle couch that's kind of terrifying. It looks kind of comfy, but like it's kind of creepy. I don't know. I don't know, man.
The thing is, I feel like when you live large like that, there's a lot of things that normally don't make sense start making sense.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess that's why a lot of rich people just kind of have very interesting design choices.
No, because I guess normal people really don't have the money just to be like, you know what, I want an archway in my house.
You know what? I want a bowling alley in my living room. And
exactly.
It's like, okay, Tom Cruise.
I want a couch that's 25 feet long.
I want a burning goat to be hanging over my TV, and I want it to be on fire all the time, and I want you to replace it monthly. And it's like, okay.
Okay.
Who do you think would have something like that, of all famous people?
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, true. I was gonna say Tom Cruise, but
oh well, I mean he's a Scientologist, so
it'd probably be.
I'm sure anything weird is on the table.
Yeah, I'm sure like he just lights people on fire and puts them over his bed frame.
Jesus Christ!
I don't actually think that.
My God!
But Scientology is one of those where it's just kind of fucking terrifying.
I've been watching too many episodes of Criminal Minds to listen to that.
Dude, the amount of podcasts I've listened to about like cults and shit.
Dude, cults are scary.
Some are actually like, I can get down with that, but then the other ones are not at all like that.
Dude, the type of personality it takes to start a cult is like one of the most toxic human beings you'll ever find.
Oh, he's super manipulative.
Beyond that.
There was one that was, he somehow managed to gather like a bunch of, I mean, this could probably go for like millions of cults, but he gathered like bunch of rich people and they paid him a fuck ton of money just to like be a part of this cult, and it was just like constant orgies and just like swapping wives and husbands and shit, and this dude just made out like a bandit. And then I don't know,
I mean, hey man, if it's better than like having your followers drink poison or like trying to start a race war like they did with the Mansons.
That's true. I will say the Haley Commons cult, where like they all drank poison and killed themselves, I find it interesting that they had people stay behind so they could upkeep the website. Because that original website is still up and running from way back when.
Really?
It hasn't changed a bit. It still looks straight out of like the 1980s.
That's actually kind of crazy.
But
there's also Jonestown.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid. I love that became kind of like the hallmark of a quote in any movie. It's just like, they're poisoning the liquids. That's happening.
Yep.
It's the golden standard now.
I will say, how sad do you think it's an honor or like very depressing that like you have to be left behind in order to upkeep the website and you don't get to hop on the comment with everybody?
Honestly, I feel like if you're manipulative enough to get everyone to think that's what's going to happen, you could probably be like, Dan, I need you to do the Lord's work for me. You're the only one that can stay behind and upkeep our website.
Me? I don't know how to run a website.
It's in your hands now. We have to go. You'll join us soon. Don't
I
worry.
don't have how are you leaving me? I just have nubs. I can't type.
We'll come back for you.
Well, how are you gonna...
Good luck. Good luck.
All right, take care. We'll see you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
Fuck, shit, bitch, okay.
Honestly, I would enjoy having my own cult, but like, I don't know what I would have them do to make it a cult.
I love how you literally just got done saying, like, you know how big of a piece of shit you have to be able to run a cult? I think I'd want to have my own cult.
Well, I mean, it's true, though. Like, I would like to have just that many people behind me for no reason.
I mean, then just run for, like, Congress or some shit. Like, run for governor.
I mean, it's easier to get a bunch of people that are in kind of no man's land in the world to kind of come to your side than people that are already solid on their political
It's
views.
the same thing as politics.
I mean, yeah, but it's the added bonus of me not being on record.
True.
So, like, I'm not saying I would do, like, the crazy cult stuff, you know? I don't know. That's the thing. Like, if I had my own cult, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
I'd probably move to Colorado, start a weed farm,
Oh.
have a lot of, like, solar energy. It'd be, like...
Like a hippie cult?
It would just be, like, a community more than anything. Because, like,
Yeah.
I would still want to have internet and stuff.
Yeah, it's very, like, hippie-esque, though.
Yeah, of course. But, like, I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of that I'd like to do. Because it's not like I want to fucking hop on Halley's Comet. It's not like I want to just...
Your laws.
You know, I don't want to do like a crazy sex orgy thing.
Yeah, it's...
Not really my cup of tea.
No, I can't say it's mine either.
I'd get freaked out. I'd be like, you have disease.
Yeah,
Please don't come near me.
facts. I don't know. Cults are fucking terrifying. I mean, I like how we got here from talking about, like, Kanye, from God telling Kanye. But it's just like religion seems like a cult, but...
Well, because it kind of is a cult following, but like it's just backed by the fact that it's a religion, you know?
Yeah, they got a book about it, and it's like, oh, we're good.
Exactly. Well, I mean, like, religion's always been sanctioned, right?
Yeah.
So, I guess any kind of group with a religious element masquerading as that could just be a cult. Like, Scientology is basically a cult, but because they're considered a religion, I feel like that's why, like, they haven't been really stepped on a little bit, you know?
It probably should, but I mean, I guess there's bigger fish to fry these days.
True. I mean, didn't they just have, like, a big... Like, they found a bunch of missing children in Georgia recently?
Like 30 kids or some shit. Yeah, and not even on the news.
Dude, it literally...
You had to dig and search to find that shit. That's so scary.
But it was so cool, though, that they found them, and they were like, they're all okay! But, like, you never got the part of the story that was just like, okay, so why were they there?
Yeah, exactly.
What got them there? Don't mind me. I just had to close an ad that was very abrasive for my eyes.
Like, it was literally just someone twerking in an ad, and we're on, like, the Daily Mail. Like, I don't know. It's just...
I don't know, Dan. It could have been a targeted ad. I don't know what you've been looking up lately.
Well, I love my thick women, of course, so it's targeted to the right person.
And speaking of thick women, David Blaine.
Hard agree.
Oh my god.
Actually, this happened today, September 2nd. David Blaine did a thing with YouTube where he kind of just...
It's called Ascension.
He kind of just got a bunch of balloons with helium in it and...
Flew
over the Arizona desert at like 20,000 feet. 25,000 feet. Now, you might be wondering why, but it's David Blaine.
Yeah,
You really don't have to ask.
I feel like it's been so long since I've heard about one of his stunts.
He's been popping off online lately.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's got like a YouTube channel, and I think that's where he's doing a lot of shit.
Oh.
And I know he was on Joe Rogan recently where he made like a frog come out of his mouth.
That's... You know, I've never been a fan of that kind of, like, sleight of hand of, like, here's an animal in my mouth.
Yeah. Oh, don't blink. There's a crocodile in my mouth, and just jumps out. It's like, David, how'd you get that in
I
there?
remember when I was a kid, I went to someone's birthday party, and they had a magician. He did it with bugs.
Ugh.
And I just remember thinking, like...
Why would you want that?
Yeah, like, because we're kids, right? So, like, obviously, like, the people that liked it were like, oh, magic, cool. But then there's me that's like, how long was the bug in there for?
That's not... I don't know. Bug is weird. Like, when they're like, oh, I'm gonna pull a rabbit out of the hat. It's like, you know, that's fine. But when it's like, I'm gonna pull a dog out of my ass. Literally, it's like, excuse me?
I had a magician at, like, my 10th birthday party or something at my house when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember he did, like, the trick with the open the jacket and the bird thing.
Oh.
And, like, I don't know if he was supposed to just let that bird go, you know?
Oh, it just disappeared?
Like, yeah, it just went up. He kind of, like, startled for a little while. Like, he kind of just watched it go up, but like he powered through. But there's part of me that whenever I think about that birthday is like, was that intentional?
Like, was it a pet?
Yeah, like, because I remember hearing like my siblings in the background like go like, oh, like they reacted as if that was something that wasn't supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember thinking like, oh shit,
Was it supposed to happen?
was that not magic, or did this guy just release like a bird that will probably die?
It's tough to say, I guess.
I do love sleight of hand magic though, like when they're just good with their hands, able to make, like coins appear and disappear and stuff. I always found that stuff interesting.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure you can go on YouTube. Like, I'm sure he has a YouTube channel, and it's a lot of like recent shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the shit that David Blaine does is so fucking weird. Like, he'll do like cool shit, like he'll do like sleight of hand shit, but the way he does it is always just like one extra step, where it's like, instead of the coin being behind your ear, it's inside your watch or something. Like, just something like so obnoxious.
Mm.
And then he does like weird shit where he's like putting like wires through his mouth and shit.
He's definitely a stuntman to a degree. So this Ascension project is, he grabbed a bunch of helium balloons. I believe they're like weather balloon grade. They're not like your standard party balloons. And I think it was like, I'm not sure how many balloons it took, but like one of the balloons had like a parachute and oxygen in it. So he was definitely prepared up there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he filled balloons with helium and traveled a decent distance through the air, up to 25,000 feet, and just kind of let that guide him.
Yeah, which, like, I don't know, I guess, like, to most people, like, it's impressive, but, like, you don't really consider, like, how much work goes into this shit.
Oh, not at all.
Like, that he had to talk to, like, a bunch of different professionals, like skydivers, hot air balloon people.
Well, I guess not only that, he had to become a professional skydiver, so he had to do all those hours, and he also had to be a professional hot air balloon operator. And then I think there was one other thing he had to do.
Yeah. And I think for skydiving, you need to do, like, 50 assisted jumps before you can ever jump by yourself. I'm pretty sure that's the number.
Jeez.
And I don't think I could personally ever do skydiving.
Okay, so like we talked about this a little bit when we had our friend go skydiving, but like, do you don't think you'd ever have like the moment in your life where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go skydiving? Because I feel like that's a common thing that people have when they have their life in check a little bit.
Yeah,
they're like, I'm gonna try skydiving. You don't think that'll be you ever?
No, because I think there's a lot of stuff I'd rather do than like pay to go skydiving. Like, I'd rather like travel or just get a tattoo or something.
Okay, so say I got a voucher that was like for just one jump, one assisted jump. Like,
yeah, I mean, why not? Like, I don't think it's something I'll never do in my life, and I'm not like, well, why would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane? 'Cause it's like, fuck that. That's stupid.
I have to admit, I don't think I would ever do it.
Like, I don't like heights. I don't blame you. Like, I don't like heights, but I'm a person that's like, hey, I'll try anything once.
I don't think I could try that once, man. I really don't. I don't think I could. I really try and like deeply imagine myself in this situation, and I don't see myself ever willingly jumping.
Yeah, I mean,
let alone like, to be fair, I've never been in a plane. Well, one that's flying. So
you've just never flown before?
Never flown.
Really?
I've driven to every vacation, and any one that we had to fly to, I strategically avoided.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I always find that interesting when people say they haven't flown and they're like your age, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just never, it's never been for me.
Yeah, I mean, flying's fine. I mean, nowadays, I don't know how I feel about it. But I mean, like, in terms of, like, flying with the intent of jumping out of the plane, it's honestly, like, it's a lot safer than it seems. Like, you have a risk of dying of a lot more things than skydiving.
I know, but, like, there's still the problem, the fact that I have to get out of the plane, and then I have to spend that time falling out of the plane.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the type of person that has like the random wake ups all the time because I think I'm falling and I'm like not. Like, I don't think my anxiety would allow me to do something like that.
That's reasonable. Yeah, it's definitely like you're gonna need some mental fortitude if you're gonna pull it off.
No, I definitely don't possess that.
Yeah. I mean,
so if I brought you a voucher that was like a free day of skydiving, you'd be like, you know what,
yeah,
I'm going.
Why not?
Okay.
I'm sure at some point I'll be like, sure, fuck it, let's do it. But at the moment, there's no like desire, like I gotta jump out of this fucking airplane.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I don't know. But then you got people like David Blaine who are just burying themselves, freezing themselves alive, and
strapping balloons to their back and soaring through the air.
Yeah, I'd call this dude a psychopath, but like, I have so much faith that he knows what he's doing that I don't think I can.
I mean, he definitely has a degree of like, he definitely has a disconnect from danger. He has to.
Oh, for sure.
Or he's like one of those like adrenaline junkies. They're like, I need to do something extreme, otherwise I'll die.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hey Dave, you want to come over for some drinks? And he's like, sure. But I'm gonna eat the glass. And it's like, dude, you do this like every fucking time. You just keep eating my wine glasses.
Dave, why do you keep showing up in a hot air balloon? I can.
I got the license. I really got to put it to use, man.
Could you imagine though, like if I just like, yeah, I got my license to operate a hot air balloon, and I just like, that's it. From then on, like I just try and travel everywhere.
You're going to work, and it's like, all right, honey, I'm off, and just.
God, I'm sure there would be some trouble with that. Like, I'm sure, but I would love to just show up to anywhere in a hot air balloon.
I assume, like, parking would be brutal. Also, you'd probably have to deflate the balloon.
Well, I mean, it's more like will I get shot out of the air?
That's your worry? Who's shooting you out of the air?
Who's casually allowing just a hot air balloon to have frequent travel across the country, across the state?
People are flying air balloons right now. They're not getting shot at.
Yeah, but who knows? Like, maybe you have to contact, like, air traffic control before you take off and be like, hi, I'm going to be in the air today, or whatever the hell.
You know, maybe you're right on that. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't think you definitely don't fly at the same altitude as a plane.
But, like, maybe for security reasons. Like, think about it. What if terrorists just flew on hot air balloons?
Just dropping, like, explosives off the side. We don't want to give them any ideas, but I mean, if I were a terrorist... Hypothetically,
honestly, that's a fire way to start anything.
Nobody suspects the man in a hot air balloon. That's just the facts.
Do you see those rainbow colors? Of course not. If there was just a solid black hot air balloon cruising through the air, though, I'd be like, that is the horse of death. I see.
That's fair, actually. Like, if I ever saw a hot air balloon that was just like black with like a skull on it, I'd just be like, oh, pirates are getting more advanced. I don't know.
Just a fucking Jolly Roger just right on the side of a hot air balloon.
They're boarding other hot air balloons.
God.
They're just like, I think you're flying a little close. And I'm like, that's what we intend to, matey. Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, man. Caribbean. Carbine? Pirates of the Carbon Monoxide. They're all hallucinating. It's not an actual movie.
Their brain cells are dying.
Fuck. I can't talk.
I can't, like, breathe.
I feel that.
No, it's the COVID.
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't need to. We'll go. Guess what? Burning you in the back.
Good.
Isn't there... There's a zombie movie where they, like, burned all the bodies. I don't remember which one.
I think there's been a few, actually, like that.
Or maybe, like, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, definitely. You know what's funny, actually, speaking of Game of Thrones? There's an actor that played, like, a very minute, like, side character, and his name was, like, Dickon or something like that. They made it a joke in the show. He was just, like, a comedy relief character until he got brutally roasted.
You hate to see it.
But he actually is a lead role in a show I've been watching on Netflix, and I just made that connection.
It's always... I feel bad for people that, like actors that play like such iconic roles and then they want to play a different role and people are like, oh, that's Jon Snow.
Well, that's the thing. He didn't play an iconic role, but like then I was like, wait a minute. He was in Game of Thrones. I was like, kind of good for him. Like he had the come up off of that.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to see that. I'm talking like the
reverse though.
Yeah, like what Robert Downey Jr. It's not he like did like a petting zoo movie and it's like, oh, Tony Stark has a petting zoo.
Oh, the Dr. Dolittle movie or whatever. Yeah.
It's like people aren't going to view him as that.
I mean, for like specifically him, he did play that character for like 12 years.
Yeah, I mean like it's like insanely iconic. Like I'm just saying, like for a lot of people, like the Marvel cast and people on Game of Thrones.
I mean, isn't that why like Chris Hemsworth is stepping down from Thor? Like he wants to explore other avenues as well as be with his family.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine everyone in that cast is tired of their role.
Hey man, you never know. There's people that love it.
Yeah, like I don't doubt that, but it feel like I could definitely see being an actor and feeling like pigeon-toed into it.
I mean, that's definitely true, but then you think like, is it because they're known like, okay, so you said the Marvel franchise, right?
Yeah.
That's just because every movie that they came out with for that span of their time in the Marvel franchise was a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not like they were competing with themselves or anything at the time. So, like, it's like kind of like when they do start making movies again, you're like, where else would you know them from? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what else are you supposed to think? Which I agree sucks for an actor. But, like, I mean, think of Christian Bale. That guy was Batman. However, he also was the guy he was the Bates from American Psycho. He was the guy from American Hustler. He was Dick Cheney in that movie.
Oh yeah.
You know, he was a drug addict and machinist. Like I feel like there are actors that are able to get away from their role, but specifically things like Marvel, Harry Potter, like they're so hard to move off of because like you've been known for like 6 or 7 movies at this point.
To be fair to like Daniel Craig, he's grown. He's aged a lot since like Harry Potter was relevant.
Who?
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Radcliffe?
Yep, that's the one.
Daniel
Craig's not 007.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a. Well, I mean, I guess technically he's moved on too, past 007 now.
Aren't they doing one more with him?
I thought no, because wasn't the new one supposed to be like a female 007 or whatever?
It's been a while. I'm sure like if I Google it, I'll find it. But
I mean, who knows?
I think you're right though.
Everything probably got pushed back because of COVID anyways.
True. But yeah, like Daniel Radcliffe, him now to him when Harry Potter was relevant, very different looking people.
I mean, true, but
you still recognize the name.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, he's also he's just been doing like kind of like, I don't want to say small projects, but he's been doing projects that kind of not fly under the radar either, because that's rude, but like...
Well, they're like passion projects. Like
passion projects, little known ones.
Like the one where he had fucking like 2 guns for hands or something.
Yeah.
Which apparently was a good movie.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Didn't he play like a demon or a devil or something in one of them, or...
Probably.
Could be the same film, honestly.
Wasn't he also in The Woman in Black? I'm pretty sure he was the main character.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Being pigeonholed as an actor, though, I feel like it's the worst for probably like people of color, I imagine.
Yeah.
Or other minorities, because like I can think of like there's like 2 actors in my head that are like the token Hispanic or token like Mexican guys for every film. Like every single film.
I mean, it's funny you mentioned that. John Boyega, I think he got the cover of GQ, and he did an article on like his time on Star Wars.
Oh, he
ripped it.
His quote was like, they used me, or it was something like they used my race and my face to advertise the film, and then they put me on this, or they sidelined me.
Yeah, which
they did.
They were like, oh, he can use a lightsaber. And now he's just kind of there. Yeah,
I mean, I felt bad going into because I only saw the second one, not the one where he was even kind of relevant in.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I was kind of curious because all I heard about was John Boyega, and he's just a badass stormtrooper. He wasn't barely in the film. They gave him that BS romance subplot and called it a day.
I mean, like that. Like looking back on it pisses me off.
Think how big his face was on the cover of that poster.
Yeah, and also like in the first one, it was like he's a rogue stormtrooper that got away from the Empire and is now living his own life, or like doing what he thinks is right. And it's like that's a good plot. And then they're like, oh, and here's what's her face? She's got the Force in her. It's like that's cool, but like you can't just throw him to the side. I don't know.
Yeah,
like it. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's definitely not how they wrote it, but it definitely felt like they're like, do we want to pander to, like, the black community, or do we want to pander to, like, women empowerment being leads in roles? And it's like...
They tried to do both, just for sake of advertising, and then they just canned, obviously, his role.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to be fair, that's just another reason for people to not like the sequels.
Yeah, exactly. Give Adam Driver credit, but they actually kind of wrote his character well. No one else really.
Yeah.
Like, I think everyone did fine acting in it, but the writing was like, I don't know.
Yeah, Kathleen Kennedy's not really my favorite person to take over the franchise.
I don't know.
I mean, like, and like, whenever I say that, I feel like people instantly assume it's because she gave a lead to a woman in Star Wars. Like, no, nothing like that. Just like Star Wars is supposed to be about, like, the Star Wars story was just the tragedy of Darth Vader. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was Anakin's story, and just, that was that. But then they tried to, like, they used the same universe, which is fine. But then they kept trying to draw back to the old ones without even, like, really following the same themes.
Yeah.
So it just felt like a half-assed movie, because if you're going to make it a different thing, if you're going to highlight female empowerment, set it away from the already inset and stoned franchise. Like, you're almost setting yourself up to fail by comparing yourself to something that's had years of a fan base.
Yeah, and, like, I get fan service, but there's definitely, like, good way to do fan service in movies.
I mean, yeah, but like, think of Mandalorian. It's in the Star Wars universe. It's just it's in a different place at a different time. Like, if they didn't have to, like,
yeah, like, I don't know why they were like, oh, Palpatine's back. It's like, no one fucking cares.
Exactly.
Literally nobody cares.
Like, it's more like, what kind of bullshittery is that? You know?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I spoiled Star Wars, but yeah.
I mean, like,
you don't care. Nobody cares. Come on.
No, if it was a spoiler, I mean, it's kind of not, though, just because in the trailer for the third movie.
Oh, yeah, they give him his laugh.
Yeah. But I mean, like, he's back, but not in the capacity that you probably expect.
Yeah. But I'll be really pissed if, like, John Boyega doesn't get any, like, roles and shit. I know Jordan Peele said he definitely cast him, but that's just because Jordan Peele's a cool guy.
Yeah.
I could definitely see, like, Hollywood blackballing him.
Yeah, honestly, I don't blame him, but probably also, like, going against Disney is not the best thing for his career.
Yeah.
And because he did kind of, like, he didn't make it a race issue because it was a race issue, but because he calls attention to it, I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of, like, oh, we gotta be careful, or like we got, like, either like rush to put him in a film just because, like, they want to be the production company that doesn't seem like they're racist, or like people are kind of like keeping him at arm's length because they don't want to, like, have him be like, and this place did it too, because he already has, like, the community behind him right now.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were pissed about it, though.
Yeah, I mean, like, I see the perspective of, like, being a company and not want to get into it, but then it's like, I don't know. It's shitty. Like,
well, he had a lot more ground to... Okay, so, like, Mark Hamill kind of was like, they ruined my character, like, they killed it, like, this sucks.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh yeah, cool. Like that, we agree, it sucks. But, like, John Boyega's claim is, like, not only did they kill his character, but, like, they capitalized on him.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, Mark Hamill's was just like, okay, that's unfortunate, and for John Boyega, it's like, that's just not morally right.
I mean, it should have been a thing back when they realized, like, for the posters for the movie, they literally removed him from the posters and made him smaller when they were advertising in, like, China.
Yeah.
So, like, if he was small enough just to remove off the cover, clearly Disney was aware of the fact that they were only using him to advertise.
Yeah, which is just so shitty. But,
yeah.
like, the way shit goes now, it's not surprising. But I will say, it sucks. But in the same vein, Chadwick Boseman passed. That's shitty too.
What did?
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
That one really sucked. It just came out of left field. It was like 10 o'clock on, what, like Monday or Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit sucked. And yeah, apparently he was battling colon cancer for 4 years. Nobody knew about it.
Chadwick Boseman played Black Panther.
Yeah.
And it kind of, like you said, it came out of left field. Like, I feel so bad because, like, when remember, I don't know if you remember, but there was like pictures that came out of him a little while back of him being like super skinny and everything. They were being like, oh, what happened? Crack Panther?
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's
Like, I genuinely thought that was funny. And it kind of just pains me to realize, like, he was, because he was struggling and he was doing everything he could. Like, think about, like, his entire circle kept that down for him because they respected him that much. And, like, he sat through, like, the Crack Panther jokes and people saying, what happened to him? And still stayed silent about it because I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, he was a really cool guy. I always loved his interviews. He seemed wholesome enough. He always, like, did things for kids.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even just the Black Panther role had a lot of influence and gave a lot of people, like, confidence.
Completely. You know, it's a real shame.
Yeah, so, rest in peace him. But I don't want to end on a sad note. So one good thing that happened was, I talked about it, like, couple weeks ago how Fall Guys, that game, they were doing whoever donated the most money to charity would get a skin in the game, and 4 people, like, it was Ninja, Dude with the Blue Hair, Aim Labs, which is just like a game where you practice aim, pretty self-explanatory. And you got Mr. Beast, who just has a lot of fucking money, and then G2 Esports, which is like an esports organization. They came together, donated $1 million, and then that's it. And then they each get a skin in the game. So I thought that was cool. Something nice.
I like that. They like when game companies kind of have that connection with their fan base, right? But like this is kind of different in a way. It put it on like the not just the fan base, but like the wealthy creators of the fan base. They were like, yeah, you can donate for a skin in the game. I feel like a lot of games that have skins should be able to do something like that.
Oh yeah, I agree.
As a way of like, because it looks good in the gaming community, and it also looks good for that game because they're like, yeah, we'll take the money and donate it to charity. Yeah. So like, I feel like it's just an all-around positive thing. I'm sure not every creator has like $1 million to just throw at it, but like still,
yeah,
I think it's really cool, and I'm just surprised it hasn't happened before.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
especially with like the skins in every game, like how popular those are, like Fortnite, Apex, all that shit.
I'm amazed that they haven't. I think they've done it for League at one point where they designed or like.
I mean, they involved the community a little bit. Remember the Tristana thing?
Yeah, and the Cho'Gath one, but yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often. And I know Aim Labs, because I think it's like each person that contributed to the million is getting a skin. Mm-hmm. So Aim Labs thing was like a contest, like, hey, design a skin, we'll pick the winner, and yours gets to be in the game, and we'll give you, I think it was like $2,500.
That's cool.
Yeah. So something nice, something light to end on.
Most definitely.
And if you would like to take us home, you're more than welcome to.
All right, folks, that has been the Frying Pan Podcast, episode 95. Thank you for tuning as always. We're on social media. The handle for both of those is the Frying Pan Pod, and our email is inthepanpodcast@gmail.com. And thank you for tuning in to us on any audio platform, excluding SoundCloud, because as I always say, we don't like SoundCloud, right, Dan?
Couldn't fuck with SoundCloud.
Can't frick with SoundCloud. So for the last time, folks, this has been the Frying Pan Podcast. I've been Robert D'Onofrio.
That's really cool. I'm happy for you.
And that's been Daniel Sear. Goodbye, folks.
Hi, welcome back to the Frying